calmed down already.
Yeah. So that's the
Speaking of
update.
Kojima, I have a question.
Mhm.
And I don't know because I don't know how we're gonna touch the game of play, state of play thing. They
Yeah.
showed all that footage. Everybody saw that
For Death Stranding?
Death Stranding.
Mhm.
All that new footage. Now, was any of that in the original game?
No, it wasn't.
So, do you guys think that they would turn it into more of an action game and less fucking I walk?
Nope, I don't think so.
Or,
I
or
think
they're promoting it as, look, there's more action, come play it.
I think they're trying to make it seem that way, and I don't think it's going to be as more action packed as you'd think it'd be, because the thing is that even though they've improved the stealth mechanics and the melee combat, and even added some new weapons and stuff like that, the actual combat in the game itself is too far apart from each other. Like, the only time that you actually fight anything is either a boss battle or when you run into a camp while you're actually doing your deliveries and stuff. And those happen very rarely. So unless you want to fight every single freaking ghost, I forget what they're called now, but unless you want to fight every single ghost and every single enemy, it's still the same fucking game. Like, you're still just walking.
So it's a pizza delivery, Danny Phantom sim. Got you.
It's a very angry pizza man trying to travel around the world, like with some new weapons. Yeah, and he fights ghosts. So it's just.
I think they said that on that it's just a $10 extra
for the upgrade. Yeah, if you own the game already.
Yeah, which I think is pretty good because for people who own the game or might be a little disappointed.
The funny thing with that,
maybe maybe this might appease them a little bit more than what the original game is.
Yeah.
But because they already beat it, it's kind of like already been there, done that.
Yeah, actually, there was another podcast I was listening to. I don't remember who mentioned it, but he was worried that with the upgrade, does that mean that are the servers are gonna? Because I don't know if you guys know, like with the gameplay mechanics, for the like when it comes to the connected world, but you're collecting resources throughout the game, and you're actually building highways and ramps and charging stations and things like that. And those things that you build in this world will be seen in other people's games. So you can essentially create an entire highway with the help of the rest of the community in order for you to get to point A to point B a lot faster. So someone was worried that with this upgrade that they were going to pretty much start things over, and especially now with the new gen hardware and nobody knows if they're going to use the same servers and stuff. People were worried that they're just going to have to start all over. Now, I forgot I was going to mention with the rest of that, but yeah, that was one of the things they were worried about, and I was like, I don't see much to this. That's pretty much it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. Kojima himself said he would not call this a director's cut. He would call this, I forget what it was, the term he said, but he's like, he doesn't like the term director's cut. And in my head, I'm just like, why is this called a director's cut in the first place? This is your game. You directed, produced, wrote this game. This is your game studio. Why don't you have a say in what the game is called? And even why is it called a director's cut? So you mean to tell me there were things that you were forced to cut out of the game? That's your game that you made yourself? Like, you're not working for anybody else. This is your game with your development studio, and you needed to cut things out? I don't understand that. So, like, there's a lot of confusion to this stupid term called director's cut, which I feel like it's just a new trend to call things like Ghost of Tsushima. Now they're calling that a director's cut when it's really just like an ultimate edition or a definitive edition or something like that.
It's a new game of the year.
It's a new game of the year. Like, it's a new term, and I don't like that. I hate that. Yeah, Kojima agrees.
The last time I heard director's cut was Sonic XD. I mean DX.
Holy shit.
And that wasn't even a director's cut. That was just another Sonic game. I was like, that was just Sonic Adventure. Like, I stop trying to make new terms. If it's a game of the year, just call it game of the year. It saves everybody the trouble.
Well, they can't call it game of the year if it didn't get the best reviews to become the greatest game of the year.
Calling it like
Ultimate Edition, Definitive Edition,
or fucking Samurai Edition for Ghost.
Yeah,
call it something. Give it an original name.
Yeah.
Like, if you use director's cut, you confuse the audience. You confuse everyone. That you confuse the the producers. You confuse the people working on the game as like, is this a director's cut? No. Then what the fuck is it? Like, it's very confusing if you use certain words and expect it to be like, oh, it's just giving you everything.
I blame Zack Snyder.
I blame Kojima.
Yeah.
You started that trend. You started that trend. Bring back the Snyder cut.
Bring back the Snyder cut.
No, fuck it. Every single game, Snyder cut. That's it. Goes to Tsushima.
Snyder cut.
I do think I do think maybe even Kojima himself realized that, you know, his ultimate vision wasn't what everybody expected or wanted or whatever it was. Yeah, it had great story. Yeah, it had, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, even he realized people complained that, you know, it was a walking. So he had to do something to make it interesting. And that was the name that they probably came up with. I mean, obviously it's his place, it's his thing, but he doesn't have like every single fucking right to every little thing. It's usually
he does. It's even his. He owns the IP and the name.
Yes, he has final say. But at the end of the day, you're working with people. You know what I mean? You're working with a team. So if your team goes, let's call this director's cut, so that, you know, people are happy, and he goes, fine.
You mean to tell me that he can create a walking simulator game that either you love or you hate?
Yeah,
he's okay with that, but he has to bend over to make a title to please some other people.
My thing is,
Paul, you know, they were making this game, and he's like, Kojima, this is stupid. This is just, you know, his entire team telling him, look, this is stupid. This is not working.
And he still made it.
And he still made it. And then when they go, look, we told you this was bad. You know, we were right.
Still made Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
we were right. You need to try to fix this. They were like, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? Oh, let's make it the right.
I don't believe that one bit.
No.
I don't believe that one bit.
Team.
No.
Because there's not one man has all the power. This guy doesn't make the game. I mean,
no, but he has the idea. That's like going to like selling a script to a movie company, and then they keep the name. They're not gonna change the name because they're not gonna think of something. Like, he has the right to be like, I don't want to change the name. It could be fucking. It could be Walking Sim.
That's a horrible example because
it is a horrible example.
When writers use that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, adaptation of books, it happens all the time. It gets destroyed by other people.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is the idea that they have and the title that they can use. He has all right to say that I don't want to change my name. He has the right to say that. Him saying that. Yeah,
but it's the reason why he came up with his own development company, anyways.
But he has.
Even at the end of the day, regardless of how much you own this company or whatever it is, it's still a company, and companies have to buy.
You just said so yourself not too long ago that people will buy whatever Kojima pulls out. So now you're telling me that he's catering to other people because he wants people to buy his thing?
No, because it's not because he wants them to buy it. He's catering to his team because he's catering to his entire team. I mean, like, if we work together, if we all work together, this is the Drunken Podcast, right? Yeah. This is your podcast. But if I strongly disagree against something, and then, you know, we're gonna talk it out. Am I right?
TDG Directors Cut.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work, we're gonna fuck it didn't work. We need to figure out a way together to figure out how this shit works. Yes, it's your podcast, but we work on it, right?
Yeah.
Same exact thing. He has his team that he worked on this, and he might even feel like he failed his team for all he knows. So he's trying to come up with, you know, they came up with something to, fuck, my team, you know, you guys should have been, I feel like you guys should have been way more credit than you guys did, because you guys did so much work on this game making my vision come to life. What can we do? And, you know, this is what they came out, and this is what
they came out with better melee and more guns in a game that you barely use guns. Like, the game is already out. It's one thing.
Yeah,
it's one thing.
This is what people complained about. They complained about how the game. They complained how the game didn't have enough combat, so they kept putting more combat in it. I mean,
it doesn't have more combat. All they added was a better melee mechanics and more weapons to use in the combat that is already offered in the game.
isn't that like when people were complaining in Batman about driving, and then they got more driving and got
nobody liked it,
and nobody liked it?
Yeah,
that's basically what this is. They're adding stuff to a game that it's not adding it. It's not going to change the game. It's not going to make the game better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just no.
But until we play it, we don't know.
So you're saying if you
there's
add
that
guns
again.
to a
We can't have an opinion unless we play the game.
I'm gonna play the game, and then I'm gonna
I am. We are pretty sure because the game was so bad that it's not going to improve. But what if? What if they fucking like? And this is why he said this is not just a fucking director's cut. This is way more.
No, he didn't say that. He says he doesn't like the fact that it's called a director's cut because he doesn't believe it is a director's cut.
Danny,
because they made new content. It's basically because they said they made all new content.
Yes,
content
exactly.
Wasn't actually cut out.
Yes,
fine, and fine. We all can agree that this shouldn't be called a director's cut. It should be called something else. Yes, I do agree with that. But director's cut sounds prettier, right? Especially
it does.
So
does it?
What? Yeah, because it's a hype. It's the Zack Snyder, all that bullshit. So
the Snyder effect. The Snyder effect.
Yeah,
because you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, what are the things that we missed out on? I have to play this game again because we missed out on a lot of stuff that they cut out the game."
But it was called Kojima Cut.
I like it cut.
But the first game was Kojima Cut.
Oh, be like, this shit is better.
The first game was the Kojima Cut. You couldn't even call it that either.
Yeah, you can't. But I think this should be called "Oh shit, we fucked up." We're trying to appease you.
That would have been an amazing.
Is that gonna fit on the box?
Yeah,
it has a little paper and it just keeps going. It's like, oh shit, we fucked up. Sorry, guys.
All right. So we talked on that more than I thought we would, but we're gonna move on. Damn, what was Death Stranding? Death Stranding. Fuck. Okay.
You have to add addition. It's not gonna be a real addition unless you add.
No, just fuck.
Just fuck. So all right.